All right, Carol. Did I pronounce that right? Carel,
You
Callie,
just call me Callie.
Callie? Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Let's take a look at this shirt here. I want a better look over here. What is this? NFT
NFT
yearbook.
Yearbook.
Right on. So what's this? What's NFT yearbook about?
Okay, so first let me tell you what we do and where we're from, and then we'll go into the NFT Yearbook. So we publish coffee table books on innovation around the world. So we've been doing this for 27 years, and it's big, beautiful business coffee table books that tell stories of innovative companies all around the world. We're currently doing the Innovate series. We did the Best of series before, which we published in 62 countries. And the Innovate series is now in 8 countries already, 50 different cities or areas. Last year, we started doing Innovate Blockchain, and we were like, hey, let's do something on the blockchain space because we all love the blockchain space. And we started publishing Innovate Blockchain, and while doing it, we were going around and seeing all these amazing people and everybody so helpful and, get involved with NFTs and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there saying, hey, let's make an NFT of our books. So I had a look at what other people were doing, and we decided to do an interactive 3D NFT. So we designed an NFT book. Don't know if you saw that yet.
Interactive NFT book.
If you let me share my screen, I'll show what it looks like.
Yeah, let me allow that real fast. All right, you're good to go.
Give me 1 sec, I was getting to it. All right, here we go. Do you see that?
Yes.
All right. So basically what we did is we created an interactive 3D NFT book. So what this is, it's a book that you can interact with, you can move it around, you can play with it, and it's also a book that you can page through.
Oh, nice.
So you can basically read the book from any angle that you want. It's just a really cool thing, and we do books. Yeah, it's a book, all kinds of books. Anyway, so anyway, we created this technology for our Innovate books, and when we did the first one, Innovate Gaming and Esports, and we were showing it to people, and everybody was, wow, that's so cool. And we thought, hey, what would be a nice project to do with an interactive 3D book NFT? And that's when we got to the idea of doing the NFT yearbook. We all used to the yearbooks in school and everywhere, and it's a way to remember everything, or remember your high school years and remember your industry and everything. So we decided to do the NFT yearbook, which is going to be 9,669 interactive 3D NFT books. Each NFT book will be tethered to an IRL physical book. So in other words, it will be numbered the same, and it will have we're putting an NFC chip in the book that connects it. So you can verify the validity of the physical book with your NFT. We're actually talking to a couple of companies about that. What is going to be in the NFT yearbook? Well, it's a yearbook. So it's a snapshot of everything that's happening in the NFT space. We're putting in 40 thought leaders from across the space, some influencers, some people from chains and big open marketplaces, things like that. So 40 thought leaders that's going to tell us where they think the NFT space is going to go in the next few years, or tell us into things that we should know about NFTs. We've got 40 featured artists where we do showcase some of the artwork that's in there, or some of their art. Then we've got another 80 featured artists that's just getting a little bit smaller space, more up and coming artists. We've got probably around 120 to 200 NFT projects, but ranging from PFP projects to people doing really amazing stuff in the art space, platforms, things like that. And then we also have a whole lot of real yearbooky stuff in there. So in other words, you can send us your PFP or your photo and your quote, and it goes in the yearbook. How we put the book together is we've got 3 phases across the whole thing. So the first phase is the hype phase, where we are just getting people on board, and that's where we're selecting about 1/3 of the projects and people that go into the book. Now, there's a lot of them that's interested, so we are busy working through that at the moment. And the whole idea is that these guys will come into the book. We select projects that have got communities and that's really excited to be featured in the book. And we go based off the whole, what's the old saying, a rising tide lifts all boats. So in other words, they talk about the project. The more they talk about the project, the more value there is for everybody in the featured in the book. And that's the first phase. The second phase of the book is where we will have some community votes for projects. So in other words, people can put forth projects or people they want to be featured in the, or they think that should be featured in the NFT yearbook, and the community votes for them, and the ones that win, they actually get space and they get featured in the book and their stories get told. And then the last phase of it is 1/3 of the book is going to be randomly dropped in the NFT drop. So if for the people that didn't make it in phase 1 and phase 2, they still have the opportunity, if they purchase an NFT, to actually get some space in the book, you know, as an attribute to their NFT. Or they can then also, they could submit content to be featured in the book, or they can, you know, sell it to somebody that wants to be featured. Most of the content that gets dropped in the NFT dropped, or that gets allocated in the NFT drop, will be, you know, the like typical yearbooky stuff. So that's where you can put your profile picture and your yearbook quote. But we are also dropping full pages. We're also dropping half pages. So there's some really prime positioning that's also just being allocated in the drop. And that, in a nutshell, is the NFT yearbook.
That is really cool. Holy smokes. This is very well put together, especially you being able to outline your phases. Not every project I talk to has a roadmap, or is at least able to talk about like the phases as clearly as you can. But it makes a heck of a lot of sense because, and I can already see how the application would work. Like if you've walked around some of the places in Decentraland or walked into the JP Morgan Lounge or something, there's a coffee table there. I don't know if there's a book there or not, but it would be really cool to look at some cool, you know, yearbook, or even some sort of interactive storyteller book or something, you know.
Yeah, look, we aim as a company, our company is called Metaverse Publishing, and actually our aim as a company is to become the publishers of the metaverse, or the publishers in the metaverse. So the NFT yearbook is just one of the projects that we're working on. We're currently creating technology, or putting together technology, where any author can walk in and submit, just upload their book as a PDF and convert it into a 3D, interactive 3D book, and load it up and sell it as NFTs. Now, the technology as it is right now, you can view it on OpenSea and you can interact with the book there. It's not entirely metaverse ready yet. We are also working on that. Obviously, the thing is with the metaverse is, as you might know, there's quite a few different, you know, they run on a few different systems or a few different backends. So, you know, we're working with Unreal Engine 5 to create books that can work on metaverses. That's done on that. We've got the GLVs for some of the other metaverses. So the idea eventually, by the time this book comes out, which would be around about December, we would have the physical books in hand. By that time, the idea is to have, as your NFT or attached to your NFT, all the versions that you can actually take it into a whole bunch of different metaverses as well. And then we've been speaking to a couple of metaverses that are saying, hey, if you guys are going to be the publishers of the metaverse, how about setting up a library? So we've been offered space to set up libraries in different metaverses, because one of our other projects is to just take all the public domain books. So the books that are in the public domain, and to convert them into NFTs and go stick them in the libraries in the metaverses, so people can go and pull, Frankenstein out of the library and put it on his coffee table, put it on their coffee table or in their bookshelf and read it and interact with it.
And you're saying that would be like kind of like your public domain, or do you mean like public library system type of thing where the books are available to check out at your library, but now they're NFT. Now that there's a digital form of them in an NFT that's interactive, and they can flip through the pages and things and have that on the coffee table or in a library.
Correct. Yeah. So in your virtual coffee table, we love books. We've been publishing books for a long time. We published books since the 90s. So we love books. We also know that the whole digital side is happening. So we are working on taking books into the metaverse. That's really the dream, I guess, in a bigger scheme of things.
Gotcha. Are you do you have any partners on this yet that would want to display your unique NFT yearbook art?
What do you mean by partners that want to display?
Like, let's say maybe not like business partners, but rather let's say well, I don't really have a good example, a dentist office in the metaverse, where these offices, or whoever is saying, hey, we'll display this on our coffee table, in our lounge, or wherever.
We haven't actually gone that far. Right now, it's just the craziness of going through the first phases and collecting and speaking to all the projects and getting all of that. We started this project actually quite a while ago, and in the beginning it was a little slow, but suddenly we went to NFT.nyc and met quite a few people there, and suddenly there's an influx of people that want to be featured. So I'm pretty sure everybody that's in the book will be displaying the book where they can. That's part of the thing about being in the book. And it's the first ever NFT yearbook. So there's a nice collectible part to it as well. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we haven't made any partnerships just yet, to answer your question on that side.
Well, I could imagine a lot of businesses that at least have a presence or a space in some of these metaverses would be more than happy to have your yearbook, in display, and it keeps them there, like, yeah, they'll keep a person there in the lounge for a bit to, check things out. Oh, that's cool, because they want to look at nice, unique art or something interactive, a game, or, whatever it is to keep them there.
Yeah. Look, a large part of the NFT yearbook, or a large part of our dream here is also, or our plan, let's not put it as a dream. A large part of our plan is also to help onboard people that are not necessarily already in the NFT space and that doesn't necessarily understand the NFT space. So while we're dropping 9,669 of these NFT books, we are actually going to print an extra probably about 10,000 books. And in the books, there's a big section, there's a section about training and education and talking about blockchain and mainly NFTs, where we have a couple of partners that are providing content for that. So the idea is that if you're in the NFT space, you buy this NFT and you get your book, you don't want to give your tethered book away to somebody, but maybe you get an extra one that you can send to your grandma or your mom or your dad, so they can also start learning and reading about the space in a way that they know, that's more native or easy to understand or easy to work with, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, we're also planning to send quite a lot of those actual physical books out to actual physical banks and offices and places to be around for people to interact with and learn more about the metaverse, learn more about the NFT space.
So is there any significance behind the number 9,969 in the drop?
It's just one of the mean numbers,
Yeah.
60, the book has got 420 pages. So
All right. I think I get it. Okay.
well, you know, we were the whole year with the NFT yearbook is that it's supposed to be a fun project. You know, we're also not taking anything in the book very serious. Well, when I say serious, I mean we're not talking that there's no technical explanations and things like this. It's written from a kind of a fun yearbook type of point of view. So even when we talk to projects that's being featured and we have thought leaders in there, we try and keep it very light and very easy to absorb, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Speaking to some of the technology, you were talking about an NFC chip in the book to verify the NFT. Is that what you said? Yeah. Okay. So would that mean like I can take my phone and just scan it, and then would I get something? Would I have to mint the NFT on OpenSea, or could I scan it?
So we are still talking to a couple of technology providers. You know, the tech around that is very, very new, and there's a couple of companies that are doing different things. So at NFT.nyc, we actually got, there was a company there that handed out T-shirts that had a little chip in the T-shirt, and you could scan it, and then you could claim the NFT of that T-shirt. So the NFT and the T-shirt goes together. But I think what they did is it's just a claim of T-shirt. You know? So once it's claimed, once it's done. Then there's another company that we spoke that basically the NFC chip in their technology is that the NFC chip, how does it again? So what happens is the physical object counts as the real, as the actual object. And anybody that has the physical object, they can scan the physical object and the NFT will then transfer to their wallet. So in other words, if you have the physical object, the NFT travels with it. And then there's the other technology, which is more likely what we are going to be doing, is that you know, you have the NFT, and if you scan the book, it verifies that this book is paired to this NFT. So in other words, it's just to, you know, create a collectible pair that travels together.
Gotcha.
So
yeah.
We are still speaking to a couple of different companies about that technology. It's still very, very new. And like I said, there's 3 different kind of ways that it could work.
Yeah, I'm hearing more and more about the applications of the physical to digital connection with that, like, you know, some of these footwear brands, you know, Adidas, for example. I can't remember if it was Adidas, but, you know, I've seen some people like in their shows, they've got like a pair of tennis shoes behind, or a nice shoe behind them, you know, and there's NFT attached to it. So that's also something that's okay, like really catching on big time.
Yeah, well, look, that is the future. I mean, if you really think about it, something I'm quite bullish on that I believe is definitely coming is more of that validation to say that this is a real thing. You know, you walk with a Dolce, you get a Dolce and Gabbana bag or some fancy brand name handbag that costs $10,000. You know, but you could sit next to a guy or next to a person that's got exactly the same looking thing that they bought down at the souk in Dubai for $100, you know, and it looks the same. So there's really no way to validate that it's the real thing. And where I believe the technology is going already now, that they've got chips that you can scan and it will connect it and say, well, this is the NFT and this is the bag that's attached to it, and you can validate it that way. But I mean, it's not necessarily that's just step 1 of the technology. The next step of the technology is actually having near field communication chips that are a little bit stronger. Well, not near field, I guess low latency Bluetooth setups that talks to your phone. So if you've got the NFT wallet on your phone, the bag actually talks to that phone, and the phone broadcasts that that's a real bag, because, you know, you would hardly be able to up to somebody in a restaurant and go, hey, I just want to scan your bag to see if this is your bag. You know, that's kind of not going to be cool. But imagine where you have the system that when I'm carrying my $10,000 bag or my $100,000 watch, it actually broadcasts that it's a real thing. And anybody in the restaurant can have an app on their phone and they can lift it and they can go, oh shit, that's a real Tag Heuer, or that's a real Rolex, that's a real thing, without having to go and walk up to somebody. Because if you do that, you would also cut down, I mean, theft would be irrelevant. If you steal a watch and there's no NFT or phone broadcasting that it's a real watch, then it's not the real thing. You know what I'm trying to say? So if you steal a product and you can't steal the NFT, you basically, there's no point in stealing it.
Gotcha. I was going to say, you know, the anti-theory there is someone sees, you know, a really nice watch, you know, that has that technology, and it's walking around, and they say, quick, get him, you know. Well, but at the same time, how are they going to resell it? Because it's already been authenticated, and it's like, oh shoot, yeah. You know, now it's showing that it's been stolen, right?
Correct. Yeah. Now it's not authenticated anymore. And of course, I mean, I hear that argument, but at the same time, if the guy is walking around with a very expensive watch, he's already showing the watch. So yeah. It's already out there. People can, he's wearing an expensive watch because he wants to show people that he's got an expensive watch. So it's easy enough for them to see it anyway.
Yeah. Oh, really cool stuff. Well, I know our time is short, but I want to sit down and chat with you later some more about this, because I feel like I'm just learning so much. And especially about the direction of your business and your roadmap. So once you start launching and you start getting some placement of these yearbooks, that's when I'm really wanting to hear more about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what we'll do is, you know, over the next couple of weeks, we're going to start really doing the hype up. We've already got quite a few people confirmed for the book, you know. Spotty Wi-Fi, one of my favorites, a couple of projects like the Crypto Cannabis Club and Crypto Mories and a bunch of those people, which are really cool. We've got a couple of nice influencers confirmed, lots of people coming on board. So over the next couple of weeks, we're going to really start doing the talking and the designing and the creative part of the first phase. Oh, there's one phase that I never even spoke about. Once this is all done and the books are published, what we're doing is we're planning to do a Oscar-style NFTs award, where holders of the NFT Yearbook NFTs will be able to vote and nominate and vote for projects in the book that they really like and that they, you know, for different categories. We've got influencers, like the Oscars, a whole range of categories. And then we have a little council that's made up out of some of the thought leaders that will have the final vote. So between the community, they will pick 5 nominees and a final vote. And then we are planning to do a nice big red carpet awards event somewhere.
Oh, that'll be way cool.
Puerto Rico or somewhere else, where we have like this really big party for all the NFT yearbook holders and have them all vote on the NFTs, you know, on the Oscars of the NFT yearbook. So
that would be an event that I'd be open to going to for sure. That'd be fun.
It's gotta be fun, trust me on that. Anyway.
Well, let's chat again. It's been a pleasure. Thanks, Carrie. Or I mean, Callie.
Yeah, cool, man.
All right, hang on one second here.